Welcome to the Prime Digital Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Scott. We have a very special guest today and a good friend of mine, Beth Bassil from b.good PR. How's it going today, Beth?
Hi, Kev. I'm doing well. I'm really excited to be on here with you guys. I'm loving that, growing up together, we're both living out, you know, jobs of our own, careers of our own. So I'm really proud of you guys and just feel really grateful to be doing this with
Yes,
you.
definitely. I'm very excited for our viewers and listeners to hear a little bit more about your business. And I think more and more people are, trying to think about doing things on their own. So I think this will be a good opportunity to kind of hear your story and again, give some people some inspiration on, different other things that they can do. So before we get started, I wanted to kind of just run down a little bit with your mission statement. I thought you guys had a nice little mission statement for Be Good PR. So I'll run down with that and then we'll get started. So, starting with the mission statement here, in order to do good, you have to be good. And at Be Good PR, we work with passionate people and brands devoted to creating products, platforms, and services that offer good to our world. So great mission statement there. I like that, Beth. So we'll get to know a little bit more about you on today's podcast, as well as your company, Be Good PR. And we'll jump right in. So I guess to start here, just give us a little background about yourself and how you got started.
Yeah. Okay, so Be Good. So basically, I was working in New York City right out of college, working in-house at a company, and then I bopped around to different agencies working with multiple brands. And the last agency that I was working with wanted to expand their footprint to the West Coast. So I kind of raised my hand immediately and was like, I want to go. And in the beginning, they were like, no, Beth, don't even think about asking. I was like, no, but I want to go. I want to go. And, within just a week, I was able to, I think it was actually a few days, I was able to convince them to let me go out there. And, going out there, the plan was to do a 6-month trial, see how I
Mhm.
liked it. I never lived anywhere besides New York, even went to college in Manhattan. So I felt that, it was time to really explore new opportunities. And I went out there and I fell in love immediately. I was with my agency for about 6 months out there.
Okay,
And during that time, I just, I moved out there knowing one friend. So I had a lot of downtime, time to just do what I wanted to do. And I took that time to really network and expand, my contacts, meeting with different
sure.
media out there and people. And, after everyone that I was meeting, I realized there was really so much opportunity to freelance and go out on my own. And that's really what I was feeling guided to and feeling really, really was the right move for me. So I went ahead and I left my agency and I went out on my own. And during my time freelancing, my now business partner, Danielle, and I were set up on what we like to call a blind coffee date. And yeah, we instantly hit it off. And so she had some of her own clients, I had some of my own clients. And after just a few months, we kind of were like, so should we join forces? Should we like do this? And we both, so Danielle comes from working with luxury designers in the fashion world in New
Okay.
York. And we actually both moved to LA at the same timing. We just didn't know each other yet.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so we both come from fashion backgrounds. But we found ourselves wanting to kind of step away from that space and work with more wellness, lifestyle, beauty, brands.
Sure.
So we decided to come together and we launched in January. Little did we know we were about to face a world pandemic. Um, but luckily, we were able to really navigate through everything and stay afloat. We found ourselves taking on clients that we normally probably wouldn't have taken on, but we found
Mhm.
major success with it. And, we work with an assortment of clients. We're working with a beauty brands, wellness, lifestyle. We have a manufacturing client. We're working with this artist who
Nice.
actually self-isolated herself for 10 years and then the pandemic happened. So we're working with really interesting people. And yeah, luckily we're staying afloat and having a really successful first year despite the current climate of everything going on.
That's great. Well, it's
Yeah.
good to hear. It's always tough to go out there on your own, and especially with a pandemic added on top of it as well. But I think you guys, knowing you, Beth, you're very driven, and once I heard that you were going out to LA to kind of explore some new opportunities, I knew you'd come up with something. So I'm
Oh,
glad to hear that. Yeah, you came up with something nice, and you found a good partner that fits you and is very similar. And looking forward to kind of seeing how you guys grow here and, continue to grow the brand and the business.
Oh, thank you. You're the best. Thanks.
So with your company, what would you say like you love most about your company? What inspires you every day to kind of work and, start your own business and, help other people too?
Yeah, so for me, I think always since I was younger, this feeling of independence and freedom and just the flexibility. So we're a
Sure.
small team and we want to, we really want to stay that way. We both, coming from bigger agencies, with a lot of clients, a lot of people, like I really like a more intimate work setting. So, Danielle and I, we're the founders and we really told ourselves we want to be fully integrated and immersed in all of our clients,
Sure.
phone calls, weekly calls, touch bases. We want to be the ones pitching. We want to be the ones doing everything. And we have one full-time employee, Morgan, who is based in Kansas City, actually. And she
Oh,
was
cool.
working, yeah, she used to work with me back in New York. She was an intern of mine at one agency. Then I brought her on as an assistant at another agency. And she was really missing home. And this was a few years ago, decided to move back home. And, I know she was really looking for PR jobs there, but it's hard when you weren't in LA or New York, the two main hubs, there
Sure.
weren't really many PR jobs. But, once Danielle and I launched, I was like, who cares where you live? What we do is a lot over email. Yes, there's events, but you can fly or hop on a plane and get there if you need to. So we decided to take Morgan on. And I just think that for us and my team, I love our flexibility. I love that, we have that work from anywhere mentality even before the pandemic hit. And, we've just been, being that we are small, we really were able to brainstorm. We're really collaborative. We talk and communicate all day long. And it
Great.
feels like my little extended family.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the beauty of today's, new world. It's, everybody's connected so much. You can do things virtually. And again, I think, by being able to do that, you can really provide the, flexibility and really the personal relationship that, your clients are looking for and being able to be the people that they're getting in contact with rather than just someone maybe on the team or an account manager, whatever the case is. I
Yeah.
think your clients and especially business nowadays, they appreciate that relationship and know that, you're there from them and you can kind of help them out, whenever anything comes up. So that's great. And so very similar to kind of our business as well. There is a lot of big agencies out there that have tons of clients and various different things. But a lot of times what we hear is that they don't really get that attention that, they feel like that they deserve, or if there are questions, they don't get answered. So we try to, do something very similar to what you guys are doing is, kind of keep it small, have those personal relationships, any direct information is going right from them to us. And I think it's a good way to do that. And it's going to be curious to kind of see and interesting to see how, kind of transforms now that everybody's mostly, working from home now and, it's a fully remote, especially with the pandemic going on. So
Yep.
should be very interesting.
I agree.
So what would you say makes your company different from maybe some other PR agencies out there?
So, there are so many amazing PR agencies out there, ones that are smaller, bigger, all different sizes. But I think, for us, and I'm not saying we're the only ones that do this, but what's really important to us is, really becoming an extension of our clients, meaning
Sure.
that we want to act as we work in-house with them as well. We help them with building their websites. We help with social media marketing strategies, branding. We want
Great.
to know everything. We help coordinate imagery and assets because really when being publicists, we act as the middleman between
Sure.
the brand and the media. So we need to be able to speak their language. We need to know everything about the brand from A to Z, inside and out. So we really try to get ourselves fully involved in everything that's going on. Um, so that we're able to, effectively communicate for our clients. And we just think it's really, really important. A lot of times, we're seeing agencies grow really, really quick and too fast. And, things slip through the crack, no matter how big or small you are. But, I
Of
think it's
course.
really important for, the founders or senior leadership to be really, really involved. And, that's what we're really trying to do here. And, back to our mission statement, I think that we really are, we're trying to find our niche, as a newly launched agency, and we've had clients come and go already, and we're really finding, we really want to work with passionate people that have brands or services, platforms that are creating better good for our world, making, allowing people to grow and that feel good approach, having that real emotional attachment. So
Sure.
that's been a main focus for us for sure.
Yeah, and I think, part of the process is just going out there and doing it and getting clients and experiencing different types of clients and really being able to find out, what are the types of clients that you like. And I think now through, almost a year of experience here with the new company, and you can find out the type of people that you like. And then going forward, you can kind of make that more of a, what you're trying to strive towards. And again, the better clients you have, the better relationships you have with them, it just works, it's a win-win for both parties. So I think that's great.
100%. Yeah.
Now, aside from business, I guess what's something that most people might not know about you, or maybe something that you don't do? I know PR can be a little tricky sometimes. Sometimes people don't really know exactly what you do. They might have an idea. So,
Yeah.
can you give us anything about that?
That is the story of my life. I feel like my parents still don't understand what I do. I always get the question, so what do you do? Basically, I just think there people don't understand the difference between earned media and paid advertising. So, you can a brand can go to a publication or newspaper or somewhere where they want to be featured and pay for an advertisement, which will cost you tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending
Sure.
on who the publication is. But that's where when you hire a publicist to come in and people, PR is hard because you can't measure it.
Yeah.
You can't, there's no equation to PR, it's striving to get as many placements as you can for a client based on creative angles that you come up with. So brands hire a publicist and, they pay a fee or whatever it is, however you want to work with out with your PR person, but
Sure.
that PR person's not just targeting one outlet. They are targeting every single outlet across the board, coming up with different angles and narratives that are relevant to timely conversations. So, for example, we're working with a Kundalini specialist, breathwork specialist, and, tuning in and meditating, going inward right now, self-care. It's really important, with everything going on in this world. Breathwork really
Sure.
grounds you and helps you. So it's like, okay, pulling that and all of these things that make sense, and really coming up with thoughtful narratives and messages. That way, you get multiple message stories, multiple opportunities, even if it's social takeovers. You kind of have to close the loop and hit every corner. So it's building brand awareness beyond just a single story, and it's not like we write a pitch an editor, and they say, okay, let me write about it. It is a
Yeah.
lot of work, and especially, I mean, this year has been the most challenging year of my career so far. Granted, yes, running my own company and kind of figuring it out as we go,
Yeah.
but also this media scape has completely changed. There have been major layoffs. People are spread super thin, and it's hard to make noise when, there's so many larger conversations happening, COVID, the social causes that are happening, the protests, the election
Sure.
coming up. So it's really hard to stand out right now. But I think people see, or people used to see, the glitz and the glamour of like, oh, going to fashion shows and events and all this, but it is a hustle. It is a lot of work, and you really have to be on at all times, and you're constantly talking and formulating stories. It's a pretty stressful, tiring career,
Yeah.
but it's
Seems
super
like it'd be very
rewarding at the
daunting.
same. Yes, but it's super rewarding at the same time. Just when you get those wins and share your client stories successfully.
That's great. And I think part of it is, just being agile, like you said before, a smaller team, being able to move with what's kind of going on and, kind of foreseeing the future and being able to change the business or, tweak it or take a different angle on things. So I think that's the beauty about being able to, run a smaller company rather than these bigger companies because they can't really move as quickly. And
Yeah.
with, today's day and age, things are changing so quickly. And within a day, you can, totally change your whole, business model essentially if something like a pandemic comes up or you have to kind of make that next step, what's going to be the new thing to do, what are people thinking about? And I think that's very daunting for business owners as well, so they have someone like you to come in and be able to lay out a plan and give different ideas, and I think that takes a lot off their plate. So I'm sure they're very helpful and very happy that you're doing that for them, and it takes a lot off of them and allows them to really focus on their business, which is their strong point.
Exactly, you nailed it. I mean, we literally had to just come up with new strategies. Like it turned into every other day almost, because there was
Sure.
just new news. And our clients really were looking to us to help them, and they were just like, help, like, what do we do? And we actually, one brand that we actually just launched yesterday in the United States, they were supposed to launch earlier this year, but we suggested, like, it sucked, but we're like, okay, like, we should pause right now. It doesn't make sense for you guys to launch. Like, we won't get coverage. And
Sure.
even so, even just launching yesterday, it was still super hard, challenging to get coverage right now. We made it happen, but that's exactly it. Like, the clients coming to us, and we're not going to sit here, and take their clients' money and not deliver. Our big thing is we don't want to overpromise, underdeliver. So
Sure.
yeah,
Well, that's great. Well, I think again, it's all about being able to provide service to the clients and allow them to better work with their business and kind of hit their goals and stuff. So that's all good stuff here. So a little bit with today with the podcast here, we're trying to provide a little bit of tips and value to our listeners and viewers. So anything that comes in mind, I guess, that you've maybe can provide or give us any of the viewers any insight on.
I just honestly feel that, and I've always been an advocate of this, if you have a dream or something you've been wanting to do, stop overthinking it and just do it. I think that the whole world right now is in a true transformation, and, everyone's feeling it.
Sure.
And I think that the way a lot of people were raised to think is, our culture puts so much value and pressure and emphasis on working and success
Yep.
and checking the boxes off, like, I need to have my career set at this time, be married at this time, have kids at this age. I think it's all BS, and people are so, and with social media, it's so easy to compare yourselves to others. And I think that you just need to take a step back and just think, what do I want to do for myself? And just do it and go for it. What's the worst that can happen? Like, the most successful people have had multiple failures under their belts. And
Of
a quote
course.
that I really, really love, that I can't remember where I read it or where I pulled it from, but I write this down and I read it to myself at times. It's creativity in its broadest sense requires getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, challenging yourself to do things you've never done before. And I just think it really resonates with me. And I hope for a lot of people out there, and just, giving them the confidence to really just go and do what they desire.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. And again, it can be very daunting, and a lot of times we talk ourselves out of it, and we have all these doubts and different things. But you just got to do it. You got to get that experience. You got to take some action. Have those failures, learn from those failures. And if I even when I look at when we first started our business as well, and how far I've came from there, it's just really amazing. And again, it's tough in the beginning, but again, I think when you get through it, you can kind of get that experience. You feel so much more confident in yourself and in your business and what you can do, and it just leads to allowing you to do other things as well in all areas of your life. So I
I
think that's a
agree.
great little tip to leave with the listeners here. And again, we're trying to inspire people, with this podcast. And there's a lot of opportunity nowadays, especially with the internet and being able to
Hmm.
work from home and flexibility and just the connectivity of things. And a lot of opportunities for all different things. So if you have a passion, why not start something on the side and see how it goes? And whatever, if it fails, it doesn't work, then you put a little effort into it. You did that instead of watching some extra hours of Netflix. So it's
Exactly. Exactly. It
it
feels good
allows you
too.
to. It does, and again, it feels like you accomplished something. And again, it could be difficult, and you can have doubts. But when you're sitting on the other side and you look back, it's like, why was I so doubtful of myself?
Right.
That was easy. It wasn't even that bad. I thought it was going to be so much worse. And I think again with everything with social media and comparing, and this person's doing that, and this person's doing this, I'm missing out on this. I think you just kind of have to be in your own lane and kind of put those blinders on again and just get to work and take some action. And I know people want to learn things and learn, but you really just have to do it. And I think you guys are a perfect example of that, taking an idea and making out of something. And now here you go, you have your PR agency and you guys are continuing to growing. So all good stuff there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess for the listeners, how do people usually hear about you guys? What's your main word, form of, I guess, people getting in touch with you?
Yeah, so it's been a lot of word of mouth. I between Danielle and myself, we have such a wide net of a network, and people it really feels so good to be so supported. I have friends constantly texting or emailing me saying, are you interested in this brand? And we're also a part of a PR collective as well. And everyone always shares opportunities in there. If a client's not a fit for us or them, we share it with each other. And it feels really good to be supported by such a great network of people. But if anyone, listening wants to get in touch with us, we have a website, it's b.good.pr.com. We also have an Instagram that you can check out as well. And then my email is beth@b-goodpr.com. And yeah, we're always willing to even just, if you're exploring a new business idea or, want to learn more about PR and what it looks like for your company, we're always open to having conversations, even if it may not be the right fit for us. We might know someone that would be the right person. So don't hesitate to reach out because we love to connect and hear everyone's ideas.
That's great. And I can definitely attest to Beth. She's very easy to talk to. So if you ever have any questions or anything, she's very easy and she's, usually right there to answer or at least provide some assistance. So feel free to reach out if anybody, any of the viewers or listeners here have any, questions. I know a lot of different businesses can be, affected with PRs and, can probably benefit as well. So I think it's definitely worth a conversation. And I think you guys are doing some great work here. And I'm very excited to kind of continue to see how you guys grow and how you progress. And definitely going to be an interesting, end of the year here, and then hopefully you're moving into 2021. It's a little bit more promising, and who knows where we're going to be out there. But again, I think you guys are doing a great job moving in the right direction, and it's good to see, some fellow friends of us. We grew up together, we went to high school together, and both went to our corporate jobs. But again, we wanted to, do something that's a little more
together.
Elementary school, all the way back to elementary school. I think first grade we were in, so it goes all the way back. So it's again, I think through talking with you and a lot of the stuff that we talked about today is, just don't be scared to try things. Maybe there's something that you like that you want to go after and maybe try it as a side gig or just build it up. And I think it's people are just so scared to try things that I think they just really need to give it a try. And, you're going to see some progress and it's really can lead to some good things and a better quality of life and being able to do work that you can actually help other people and, feel fulfilled in the work that you do. So
take the leap.
Stuff. Exactly. Well, I appreciate it, Beth. Thanks for joining us today. I'm sure we'll catch up soon.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. If you enjoyed the show, hit that subscribe button. Or if you'd like to learn more about marketing your business better and getting more customers, schedule a free 30-minute consultation with us by visiting primedigitalseo.com.